Hello, happy Tuesday. Welcome back to another episode of the Spill It Girl podcast. Today I have a hot take as per norm, but I need you to really hear me out before you get defensive. And this has nothing to do directly with my previous episode about Summer House, but just in general, it had me thinking, just because someone is upset with you does not automatically mean you did something wrong. And I think this could be honestly applied to many things in life. And I know this one can hit a nerve, but I just want to say that in general, we've basically been conditioned to believe that if someone is hurt, we must have caused harm. So what do? We over apologize. We over explain. We replay conversations in our head 47 times, trying to figure out where we went wrong, even when deep down we know we didn't. And I want that to sit with you for a second, because I think there's a lot of relatable examples. You started sending boundaries. People get weird. You stop answering text immediately. People get passive aggressive. You say no without a full essay or explanation. Suddenly, you've changed. And it's like, yeah, I have. And I think it's time that we shift that lens, because here's the part that might make you uncomfortable hearing this. A lot of people don't actually miss you. They miss how accessible you were. They miss the version of you that said yes to everything they wanted you to say yes to, that always showed up for them, that didn't push back on them. And when that version of you disappears, it feels like a loss to them. And that's not the case. Another thing is, another person's discomfort is not the same thing as you doing something wrong. So I want to say that again, because this is the whole point. Someone else being uncomfortable with your growth does not mean you are in the wrong. Let that one sit for you for a second. And this is where your brain starts to mess with you, because you're like, but I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to be seen as being difficult. I don't want people to think I'm selfish. So you start negotiating with yourself. Maybe I should just say yes. Maybe I should just keep the peace. Maybe I am being too much. That one's my favorite. I think you need to reframe, because let's be honest about keeping the peace. That usually means that you're the one holding everything in, and you're the one that constantly has to adjust, and you're the one making yourself smaller so everyone else can stay comfortable. And that's not peace. That is not how you should live. That is you abandoning yourself. So here's the real talk. You can be a good person and still have boundaries. You can love people and still say no. You can show up for others without disappearing in the process. And the people who actually respect you, they'll adjust. Maybe not immediately, maybe not perfectly, but they will. And that's something that I've been on both sides of the line. And the ones that don't, they might guilt you. They'll question you. They'll say things like, you've changed or you're not the same anymore. And here's the truth, if I'm being quite frank, you're probably not. You're just no longer the version of yourself that was easiest for them to handle. And that's something that's just really powerful once you can accept that you are allowed to outgrow roles you've never consciously signed up for. And you are allowed to stop over explaining your no. You're allowed to choose peace, even if that means it disappoints someone else. And you are allowed to protect yourself, your energy, like it actually matters, because it does. At the end of the day, like, it's your life. So the next time someone is upset with you, pause before you immediately take blame and ask yourself, did I lie? Did I betray my values? Did I betray that person? Did I intentionally hurt someone? Or did I finally choose myself in a way that they're not used to? And I think that anyone that can get to that point, that can realize those are two very different things. And a lot of the time, you didn't do anything wrong. They're just uncomfortable with the new you, quote unquote, you know? Anyways, I already know this is going to hit a nerve for some of you. So I want to hear it. Be honest. Do you think we owe people comfort? Or do we owe ourselves honesty? And if this made you feel a little called out, good. That means that like we're growing. So this stemmed from a conversation I just recently had reconnecting with an old friend. And I've watched him kind of just float through life to make other people happy and not himself. But then I think it plays into like what we see on reality TV. I think it plays into a lot of things, but I just wanted to take a moment to help anyone that's listening know that like the only constant in life is change. And we have to be able to accept that within us and be okay being comfortable. So that is your Spill It Girl for this Tuesday. I hope this helps someone, and I hope that's a great start to your week because you're doing great. And I'll talk to you guys later.